incredible. What's up, homeboy? South Mill, Power 106.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Ground Up. Today, I have a very special guest. Some of you may know him as Coss the Boss. He is a former kingpin in New York City. His name is Coss Marte. How are you doing today?
I'm good. You know, I can't complain. You know, things have been a blessing for me.
That's good. And so today, as of today, you actually run CONBODY, which is a fitness center in New York City.
Yep.
Right on.
Yes. CONBODY is we call it a prison style boot camp. It's all body weight exercises, cardio, strength training, using one's body weight with no equipment. And what we do is hire people coming out of the prison system to teach fitness classes.
Right on. So you guys, if you're just coming out and you need somewhere to, you know, work and you want to be serious and, you know, help people get fit and stuff like that, you know, you should definitely go and, you know, check that out. So, so I have you here and I just want to let you know about the channel and what we're about. It's basically a channel about personality type and how people think and how they work. So I have you on in order to sort of get into your mind and figure out how you think about things. And when I say how you think, it could be from interactions with people to, you know, getting a task done or accomplished. So I don't know if you've ever heard of a thing called MBTI.
MBTI, no.
Okay, so it's Myers-Briggs Personality Identifier. So what that is there are 16 different types. Everybody has one type, and it has to do with how you're wired. So for example, somebody who is an ISTP, you know, they're usually a person that stereotypically will be considered mechanically inclined. As for, you know, as opposed to that would be an ISFJ, and that person is maybe, you know, socially inclined. And I sort of want to, you know, dive into your mind and figure out which one you are.
Awesome.
Right on. So first question, do you actually think that you're more of an extroverted person or introverted?
I believe I'm an introverted person.
Really? Okay, so you definitely you like to get into your mind and stuff like that?
Yeah. Even though a lot of people think I might be extroverted just because I've done like interviews, been nonstop, like reaching out and being out there and just pushing the brand out. But I like to, like, you know, when I'm with people, I'm the quietest one in the room.
Okay, interesting. So I think we're already getting somewhere. I feel as if this is a big hint because I feel like maybe it's goal oriented to where you maybe want to put yourself out because you have an objective and you can see the unfolding of it happening.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
So yeah, right on. Would you consider yourself to be more practical or more abstract? As in, do you think about abstract questions more like sort of how things unfold future-wise, or do you focus more on the practical, the here and now?
I focus on the practical here and now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
all right.
I do focus on like, you know, I look at bigger goals and like put them out there, but I'm working on the tasks at hand at all times.
Interest. Okay. Task at hand. So you're just straight up like concrete. You don't like to, maybe like you're not a theorizer, a person that would like think in like, oh, what is the universe made out of, that type of stuff.
Not.
Right on. Right on. Okay, so let's say that somebody that you knew, that you cared about, or, you know, it could be a stranger. Let's say that there's something that they needed to know. You know, would you prefer to give them that information while at the same time being aware of sort of the, you know, emotional dynamics, sort of trying to gauge how they're feeling about it? Or would you just be straight up like blunt, regardless of if it hurt them or not?
I think I'll definitely, it depends. I think I'll be blunt if that person wants me to be blunt, but if I don't really know that person and they're coming up to me for some like straight up honesty and like some guidance, I'm going to try to, not going to lie to them,
Right.
but I'm not gonna hurt their feelings.
Oh, okay, interesting. That's really interesting because I mean that sounds like a filler type. So there are two different types. There's thinkers and fillers. Of course, everybody can be both. But what a filler type is that means that that person most likely has, you know, there's an emotional aspect to them that they focus on over, you know, it's like their strongest ability, one of their strongest abilities out of all of the abilities that they would have.
Hmm.
So it could be the case. I could be wrong. These are all assumptions based off of the questions that I'm asking. But so next, I have another one. So let's say you were back in high school, right? And let's say that you had an assignment that was due in 2 weeks. Would you do it immediately or would you wait?
Most of the time I would wait, but then I would love to do it now and get it done. And there was times where I like got it done and I felt way more relieved, and I knew that that was like the best thing to do.
Yeah.
But there was times where, I'd rather go out and play with my friends
And
and
then do it. You come back.
do the work at the end of the day. Yeah.
This is actually okay. So I guess that would be technically ISFP, but I just don't think that you're ISFP because of how elaborate you seem. Like you seem as if you're the person to focus so strongly on your goals that you would be like you seem almost like
Yeah.
methodical.
In terms of like homework, yeah. Like if schoolwork, definitely. But if it would have been like go hustle and make money, like that comes first. I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna wait. Like
So you go get it.
I'm gonna go get it right away. Like I'm not gonna wait to
Wow.
push
Okay.
that in the back end. But if it was like homework that I'm like, not hyped about or not wanting to do, like in terms of like schoolwork, but if in terms of like real life work, I'm trying to get that thing done like ASAP now. Like, like I just did my girl and I remodeled the crib, and I'm like, we got everything done ASAP because I was like carrying sheetrock, hammering shit on the wall, like, because I got it done.
Yeah, you have to do it. Yeah, I get you. So yeah, it's like you prioritize. You prioritize what you want to like. If it's something that like if it's homework and you could be making money, then you're gonna be like, well, I could be making money. I'm not gonna do the homework. It's like
Exactly.
that. I get what you're saying. All right, right on. So that is a J type. So there's perceivers and judges. They're two different people who are like. There's a person who's like laid back, I could wait. I could wait. That type of thing. And there's
Mhm.
judges. Judges, they're more okay. I want to get this done by this deadline. I got to meet this mark. Those types of people.
Yeah.
And that seems like that's what you are is a judger type. So introverted and then judging. And you said you're concrete, so that'd be IS, ISJ, maybe ISFJ. Could be ISFJ or ISTJ. But I'm not gonna go too deep into the letters and stuff like that. What's something that maybe if let's say for example you were out and you were doing your sales, what is something that maybe could have bugged you, like as in like a person, maybe like certain activities that people do, those types of things, just
Uh,
in general.
Something would have bugged me, like a protagonizer.
Oh, protect like yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
somebody who's like pushing and bothering people and
No. Somebody that's just like not maybe there's somebody that's just not a go-getter. Somebody that's just like laid back and like a lazy person.
like a lazy yeah.
Yeah.
So you like punctuality.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I like
Okay.
getting done on time, show up on time, deliver on time. That's number one for me.
How do you leverage your situations whenever you're doing like a sale? Like what do you use in order to gather in information and then use that to go about structuring your at the time you were doing it, structuring your business. So let's say that, you know, you wanted to start making sales, but then there's too many people that are asking, and so now you need a system. Do you resort to using systems that you know of that have worked in the past? Do you resort to like looking at the information and then taking in systems that have worked before, or do you look towards the future, like try to make it new?
No, I would ask somebody for help to make it new.
Okay.
I would probably not do all the research to like go through the processes, like finding, we got this new like processing system, software solution that, is processing all our transactions. But I have like my CFO, like looking at all that stuff, because I told him like, hey, let's find this the cheapest, fastest, better, let's jump on board, type of deal. Yeah.
Right on. So you kind of like it's like delegation. Like you delegate, say, hey, we got to find this. We got to find the cheapest product,
Yep.
and then you go through people. Okay, yeah, I think that's actually kind of like ISFJs, which is like ISFJs. They're people who are they categorize their top function is the ability to like recall memory or information, and they'll go off of that. But then they'll also like they're very they have a strong sense of culture. They feel like strongly like they want to tie into culture and things like that. Does that relate to you or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Right on, right on. Yeah, so we're getting somewhere then. So somebody who wants to, you value culture a lot and you value the heritage. So ISFJs, the reason that they value that is because they have memory recall as one of their top functions in their mind.
Yep.
And then they have a extroverted feeling, which is, gathering information of the people around them, seeing if people actually can relate to them or not, not relate, but, sort of seeing how people feel. Uh, yeah, I mean, that's what I would think. I could be wrong, so you have any like, what's the craziest thing you've seen on your block whenever you're out there and you're selling?
I mean, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. I don't know, I seen somebody get burnt, like, lit up on fire, be wrapped up in newspaper and thrown like gasoline and burned up,
That's insane. That's like torture. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. And this guy did it as a joke.
How old were you at the time?
I was probably like 17.
And the guy did it as a joke. Did they ever get caught or anything like that? They just like ran free.
I don't know if they didn't get caught for that, but they got caught for other shit. Yeah.
So at what age did you actually decide that you wanted to start like moving dope and selling it and everything like that?
So I started at 13. I started thinking about like hustling and but at 11 I was already like inspired to do that, like that's what I wanted to really do.
Really? Who inspired you?
Just like family, like cousins that were already involved, like people on the block that I grew up with that were part of the older crowd, and I just like saw it and I wanted to be them. I wanted to be like them,
It's crazy. I could not imagine just going out there and like going out to a block and then selling some dope and then like being 11 years old. At 11, I think I was like watching cartoons or whatever like that, some other type of hobby. Like, you had other hobbies, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, I played sports, like, but everything was like in my face, like the park was across the street. So we played basketball while somebody was like, selling crack next to us, so like that's what we were, that was normal.
Man, it was just that prevalent. That's crazy. Yeah, I never would experience something like that. It's like, I guess it was like something that maybe was attributed to a lot of freedom as well or whatever, because I feel like if you're able to go out and do all that, if you're able to just like have the freedom to go out and then you're, 11 years old and you're around all that type of stuff, that's like, I thought
it was funny because it was like dangerous, but it was safe in terms of like anybody that lived in the community was protected by like gangs or cliques, you know what I mean? Like my mom would leave me on the block, when I was a kid, or like my brother and I would just be out there like all day, all night, but she knew like the dudes on the block was going to take care of me. And nothing was gonna happen, you know.
Yeah, and that's scary. I know that so you started selling at 11, and then you're doing like some like you're doing sports and stuff like that, but then you decided to go deeper into it because it became lucrative.
Yeah, it became lucrative, but it was like I knew I was not going to be the best player. I knew I was not, you know, I loved baseball when I was a kid. I knew I was not going to make it to the Yankees, even though I was good, but I was not, you know, to be a part of MLB, you have to be the greatest, you know, and like my dad didn't put me in like sports teams, you know, I had to do like all the, you know, all the steps to like get into, you know, any teams. So I don't know. I quickly just realized like I'm not gonna make money off of this, you know, and I'm gonna make money off of this right away. And that was my mentality. And I just saw like instant gratification about, and it was everything was just like about wealth and money, you know.
It started coming in for you.
Yeah, my mentality is different now, but like that was just my main, you know, goal in my mind. Like I didn't really care if, you know, anybody got hurt behind it. You know, I had a really cold heart.
Wow, a cold heart. That's crazy. Like, I guess like anybody can become like susceptible to the level of stimulus that was given to you at the time. Because I feel like just having all that stuff, you know, you got the money, you got the clothes, you got the cars, you got everything. You know, it must have been a real drag to have your life just come to an absolute halt.
Yep.
You know, so that is the part that is a little like uncomprehendable. I can't really imagine getting all that stuff and then having, you know, all of it just stopped. So what was it like whenever you had actually got you were done, it was over. What is that time frame like for you?
When I knew it was done when I was in prison, and like I knew that I needed to like just I was just more I just changed my whole like mindset of what was important. Like money wasn't important. You know, my son was important. Like for me to be, you know, home day after day, or like just be in communications with him and like have him, you know, that opened up my heart, you know. Um, and there's nothing, you know, like having a kid. You know, my son's gonna be 13 right now, like in a week. Um, and it's just like it's a different feeling that you don't get until you have that happen to you. Um, yeah, I mean, I knew when I ended up in solitary confinement and I started realizing what I needed to do, you know, to change my life around and to be committed, was basically like know that everything's going to be okay. You know, I didn't need to have money right now. I was going to survive no matter what. You know, I was going to have some food on the table. I was going to have, you know, whether even I didn't have no table, or, you know, I was going to have some clothes on. You know what I mean? Like I was going to figure it out, and I didn't have to do it in a negative way, you know? And so that became my concept. That became my mentality.
Wow. Wow, and that's sort of how long did it take you to get there, to get to that mentality? Was it sort of like as soon as you got hemmed up, or was it later on?
I mean, I've been in and out of the jail system since I was like 13, all the way to 29. So like it just, it was my last stint in prison when I ended up in solitary in that cell, and just thinking about, you know, what did I need to do to stay home and be a provider for my family and not fall back into the bullshit, you know, not fall back into the temptations that, you know, were going to be facing me right away. Cause I've came home before, you know, and had those temptations and felt right back in it. And it only took an hour or so, you know.
Right.
So I had to have that mindset where I had to be dedicated. Like I was a street hustler. I was dedicated to being, you know, making money on the streets. I had to be dedicated to just like showing up day after day, doing this fitness thing, you know, doing the right thing, you know, whether somebody was looking at or not, you know, and like saying no to those temptations. And that was difficult for me. I was always like and I'm still a little bit of a yes person, where it's hard for me to say no. But yeah, I mean, that was it.
It's actually something that they say that is a common trait amongst people who actually have, you know, the successful and the non-successful, is that they do the things that they need to do regardless if people are looking or not. And I think that that's a mentality that, you know, could really help a lot of people, not just your situation, but if you're to take that same mentality and apply it to like everyday life, you know, that could really, you know, if somebody who's maybe just trying to get like a, you know, like a raise or something like that, or if they're trying to actually start their business or anything, or if they're trying to just be a, you know, get into fitness, like, you know, like you do with the CONBODY. So yeah, that's really inspiring. I think that's a really positive mentality to have. So do you think that maybe something that you want to do with like CONBODY is going to possibly where do you want to take it? I guess a better question would be, where do you want to go? Do you want to grow as a company? Do you want to,
Yeah.
like, you know, how far do you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I want to like really disrupt the fitness industry. I want to disrupt it in terms of, you know, all this vanity play that we've seen for so long, all the bullshit that we've seen on TV, whether it's like, yo, you know, lose 30 pounds in 5 minutes by doing this. You know, I want to keep it real. I want to like tell people what it is, and I want to give people a fair chance coming out of the prison system to give them an opportunity to get into this industry. You know, I feel like there's not a very well playing field in terms of companies growing from the bottom to the top, unless you're fitting a you know, Barbie Ken image, you know, and I want to change that whole perspective.
Yeah, I think that's something that we have in common. It's the ground up type of mentality. And I think that's what, you know, that's why I named this channel at the ground up, is because it's like, you know, a lot of times people want to keep things in their inner workings. Like you got the Barbie image, you got people who they're polished, it's like a cookie cutter type of thing. But you know, you got people who are actually trying to grow and develop from a different mindset completely.
Yeah.
You said before, which I was curious about it, so I'm going back to this. I know it's kind of like we're going back to an old subject, but you said you were in the solitary the time that you're in. What did they put you in solitary for? What had happened?
So I got into, it's not the first time I was in solitary, but the last time I got into an altercation with an officer. He put his hands on me, and yeah, I mean, what happened was I was on the wall being searched, and this officer was searching me very aggressively. And as he was searching me, I moved my body, and as soon as I moved my body, he punched me behind my head and dropped me to the ground. I got up, I turned around on the officer to avoid another hit, and he said I was attempting to assault him. And
Oh, shit.
that's what
That's
happened.
shiesty. That's fucked up. Like that's wrong. Like
Yeah.
they shouldn't do people like that. I'm against. I think they should do a lot of like you know, it's like should be like justice reform or whatever, like criminal justice reform. Or what if, for example, like I think that we tend to do too much reaction. Like our criminal justice system is too reactionary as opposed to like trying to avoid things from happening in the first place.
Yeah.
Like they just try to catch you on the back end. What's
Mhm.
like I'm sure you have plenty of examples of that, like, you know, them trying to catch you on the back end as opposed to like stopping you when they can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Just like it's a system that was made to do what it's doing. You know, it's a system that was made to, you know, target minorities, you know, in urban areas, you know, so it's, um, it is what it is. You know, like this has been happening for so long. You know, with the crack epidemic, with the Reagan era, with Nixon. I mean, the industrial prison industrial complex grew 600%. You know, the sad thing is that 1 in 3 black men will end up in the system. You know, because they will fit a profile. I mean, we see video after video online where I was watching one video the other day where this guy, he's black, he's just sitting, uh, you know, by a ledge, and some officers, you know, stop him, start searching him, and he's like, "Yo, what did I do? I didn't do anything wrong." He was like, "Be quiet, you fit the description." He was like, "I didn't do anything wrong." He was like, you know, um, he was like, "Look at my wallet," and they pulled his wallet out of his back pocket. He was an FBI agent. And when they pulled it out, and this is being recorded.
Oh, I think I saw that video. I think I know what you're talking about.
Minnesota, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. But that's reality.
Wow.
You know, because and how people feel when you know, we walk in the room. You know, I go into these, like, now, you know, since the pandemic we haven't had meetings or, you know, events, but I've gone into events where I walk in, you know, dressing a different type of way, and they think I'm a worker. You know, the other day I went into, you know, a nice ass building. They thought I was, you know, delivering for Seamless. You know, so but just it's a innate reaction. You know, it's an innate reaction of internal racism that's been built, you know, for years through our media, through, you know, the way we grow up. You know, so it's sad, but we need to really change that, and we need to start having those discussions. So
Yeah, this is wild. This is a crazy year, 2020. There's a lot of stuff going on. You know, got COVID. I mean, I'm sure that's affected business. I'm sure that's affected like how you do things now. So that's crazy.
yeah, I mean, it's been a blessing for us. I can't complain. We've been doing a lot of video work. We have an online subscription for $14 a month that's been growing. And then we've been doing a lot of stuff in the park. So we've been having our community come out and, you know, still being safe, staying, you know, social distancing, and just making sure we do it right, but get our workout in. So it's been good for us. So I can't complain.
Hey, right on. That's good. Do you think that what is it over in New York? Are you guys a little like are you still the same? Is it stringent to where you guys can't, like, the bars aren't open and stuff like that?
Yeah, nothing could open. I mean, they just said restaurants could open at like 25% occupancy or something like that. But gyms, big gyms could open at a certain occupancy, but small fitness studios can't open at all. And it's just unfair that we've been like closed for so long, you know, and haven't really had any crazy government assistance, you know. Like, thank God we have a community that's been supporting, and we could quickly pivot to doing like video stuff. But there's other, you know, other companies that can't do that, you know, and they've fallen. And I've seen restaurants in the neighborhood that have been open for, you know, 50 to 100 years, and they have to close, you know, which is sad. And they have, you know, so many employees that had to be laid off. So, but it is what it is. I think whoever survives this pandemic is gonna really survive business for a little while, you know.
Right. You know, like some of the people that are going to be, you know, starting or getting their foot into business may have an advantage because, you know, they could be just not starting or whatever. And so maybe, hopefully, that will give our economy sort of a boost or whatever. You know, it might be able to employ people with these new businesses. And yeah, it's crazy. Like, I know that for my brother, my siblings, because they're much younger than me, they have like school. It's like always online now. You know, you can't really go and, you know, they're not gonna have prom. My brother started high school, so he's not gonna be able to go and do that, you know, prom type of stuff if he's.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, just.
But sorry to cut you off. I gotta run.
You gotta run. Okay, right around. Hey, it was a great interview. I appreciate you for coming.
Thank you.
And you take care. Stay safe, everybody. Yeah, if you do fitness or anything like that, sorry for cutting you up, but I'm trying to promote your stuff. If you do fitness or you want to get into it, CONBODY, Coss Marte, Go check them out. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh.
Bye-bye.